What's up, guys? My name's Kevin. I'm with Badland Industries, and today we're going to be showing you guys how to install a lift on any of the first gen 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive Z71 Colorados. Check it out. All right, so I want to show you guys how tall the truck is at first, and then after the lift we will take another measurement and show you guys just how tall it is. So when we talk about how high these trucks are, the tire height, the tire inflation, the height of the keys all dictate how tall the truck is. So what we do is we say there's a little button here under the fender in the center of the hub, and we measure down. Now it's about 20 and a half, give or take, to the middle of the M there. And so this technically is about a half an inch short from stock. Come around the other side here and I'll show you the other side here. Same thing again. We're gonna go from that little rivet and we're about 21 and a half. So what's crazy is this truck already has what we call a Chevy lean. So basically the driver's side has the gas tank on it and the driver. So what'll happen is over time that side sags. You guys can see there's an inch difference between the left and the right side of the truck. So when you guys get your box, if you buy the shocks, they'll come separate, but when you buy the lift by itself or when you buy the pieces, this is what you're going to get. So you'll get re-indexed lift keys, left and right, your upper ball joint spacers, bolts for your shackles. We do have an option for an add-a leaf, and your kit will come with a new center pin. Sometimes the vendor that I get the leaves from don't send the leaves with a center pin, so I just always send it. You get your diff drop. You've got 8 spacers here. You can put one on top and one on bottom of the differential for a half-inch drop and retain the bolts that I send. Or what I just recommend is put 2 bolts on top of the differential, which you guys will see here in a minute, and bolt it all back in. Super beefy shackles. They're fully adjustable. You can run them either configuration. I like the 2 holes on the top. It just looks better that way, especially if you don't want to run the full lift. You can run it with the 2 holes up and not have anything hanging below. A lot of guys will bolt it right here sometimes, and it just looks silly with the extra hole hanging under the leaf. So we don't want that. This is for you, Shane. Only the OGs will know what that's about. All right, so we're going to start with the lift keys, or at least taking the stock keys out. So we've got a 1 1/16 socket. Don't ask me for the metric equivalent. If it fits, it ships. With the front suspension hung, suspended by the frame. but they're completely unloaded. You don't need a tool or anything special to remove these keys or any unloader tool. You just hit or batter. Alright, so for this next part, we're going to be taking off the ball joints, and you're going to need a 21 mil for the bolt, or for the nut under the ball joint. I'll pull the ABS off of here. I just want a little bit of room for the ABS to come out without cutting the lines. Alright, so we're going to take our 21 mil wrench here and get it on the nut on the bottom of the ball joint here. The pressure of the ball joint being smashed into that tapered hole will keep it there. Alright, so we are at the very end of this nut here. It's still attached, but it's just barely, right? So just enough that it's still finger tight. And we're going to tap this little nub right there. Now, I'm not hitting it very hard, but what I want to do is knock this ball joint from its taper. Drop the arm a little bit and show you guys. Just like that. So now this ball joint is completely free once we loosen these nuts up. Just like that. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to press out the stock bolts that came with the ball joint. So I just got, this one's 13/16. Basically you just need it bigger than the end here, and then this guy is 15 and it'll sit on the nut. So take it over to your vise, open it all the way up, set it on inside real gentle, and crank her down. Alright, so if that wasn't hard enough, now we got a virgin ball joint. These are all pressed out. If you got a big enough vise, you can just press them out, or arbor press, or 10-ton or whatever, but those are irrelevant because the new kit and the new ball joint spacers come with new bolts. So let's go back on the truck and we'll put them in. So this is an oddball, it's an 18 mil. So they're not out, but they're just barely in. Alright, so we got that set up so you can see the difference in height there. So what we're going to do now is take out the rear bolt. We're actually going to lift up the suspension a little bit. this arm clears the bolt up here, so that the bolt will actually clear the arm up here without having to move the control arm too much. Take 2 of our spacers and that guy finger tight here. Two more spacers. Stack them up. We need to crank our torsion bars now as far as humanly possible. Alright, now crank these as far as they go. So this is only the front lift so far, and you can see just how much taller the front is compared to the rear. But now we're going to check for ride height. So we're going to check here on the driver's side. We want about 24 and a quarter is where it's at. And so that'll allow this side to sit just a touch higher with him in the driver's seat with the full tank of gas. This will be the heavier side of the truck, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to bring this up. So let's go around the other side, and we will double check our ride height over here. Pretty much 24. I'd actually want to bring this side down a little bit, but we're at 24 and a quarter here. So let me bring this side down a little bit. So here we go. Drop down about a 1/4 inch. And that's all there is to it for the front. Now on to the back. Alright, so we're replacing the shocks. So we took the shocks out. It actually really helps to remove them if you're doing this as well, because it'll allow the shackles to droop as far as I can. I do recommend longer shocks. The stock rear H3 shocks are just a touch longer than the stock Z71 shocks, so that helps. So I wanted to show you guys, the black one is the stock shock, and the yellow one, the Bilstein, is the stock H3 rear shock. They're both fully extended right now, tops are even, and you can see that the Bilstein shock is just a touch longer, so it's exactly what we want for a lift like this. Alright, so we're also going to need to drop the spare tire, because on this side the bolts for the shackle have to leave the shackle, and if they do, they'll hit the tire. So we'll have to drop the tire a little ways, just a couple inches, and get it out. So we'll get this guy, it's way off to the side here. Midwest slopes, that is not going to happen that easily. So save yourself the hassle and just cut them off. Alright, so we're going to put the truck back on the ground here. Just trying to take the stress off of those bolts. Like that. Right, so we're just gonna have to wait on this guy because the tailpipe's in the way, but when we jack this up a little higher, this will be low enough to where we can pull that bolt out. So. Well, there you have it. Badland Industries 3-inch lift. That wheel gap now. Same size tires. He's going to go up into the size once these burn out next year. But this gives you guys a idea as to how much higher your truck can be. There's stock Colorado. Just a couple $100. Granted, he did go with the Bilsteins all the way around, which are absolutely the best bang for the buck for shocks. But you can see here we're at 24 1/4 on this side. Like I said, for having the other side higher than the passenger side. This side's 24. So guys, that's the Badland Industries 3-inch lift kit, full install. If you guys have any questions on the lift kit, feel free to shoot me an email at sales@badlandindustries.com. Be more than happy to answer your questions. Otherwise, the link will be down in the description for all of our products. You can find that at badlandindustries.com. Pretty simple. And if you guys have any other products you want to see or things that you want us to create, shoot us an email and we'll be more than happy to take a look into it and see if there's a way to make it happen. So again, thank you guys for watching the video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this and showcasing any other products that we create. So again, thank you guys for watching.